everybody. I'm Victoria Simmons with this week's edition of the Georgia Post Review. My co-host this week is Christy Watkins. Hey, Christy. Our guest this week is new Crawford County High School Eagles football coach, Jhon Smith. We're so glad to have you here, and we're so excited for what's going to transpire with the team this year. So, first of all, we'll welcome you here, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to Crawford County.
My name is Jhon Smith. Been coaching football for a little over 10 years now. Been really blessed with being in a couple really successful programs. I started off as the defensive coordinator at Peach County from 2009 to 2012, and then went down to Lee County down in South Georgia and was the defensive coordinator there from 2013 till last year. I had the opportunity to play a couple state championship games and win a couple, but just been really blessed to be in a couple really good programs. Personally, I'm from the state of Florida, down in the Panhandle, what they call Lower Alabama. Married, got a total of 5 kids, age range all the way from a senior in high school to a kindergartner. So it's a widespread, and my wife, she's great. I couldn't do this without the family support.
Great. Well, we won't hold it against you that you're from Florida.
As long as he doesn't hold it against me that I'm from Louisiana, we're good.
Because I graduated from University of Georgia. So.
I graduated from Florida State.
So why Crawford County? What made you decide to come to Crawford?
Well, when I first moved to Georgia, we moved into the middle Georgia area. Always lived in that Perry area. Even when I was coaching down in Lee County, I would drive every day because we lived in Perry. So when the opportunity came up in Crawford, I knew Crawford from when I was at Peach. I liked the area, and I liked the opportunity to really change the program around. I want to take a program and build it the way I think it should be built, and so there's no preconceived notions or anything like that. The kids wanted to work hard, have fantastic administrative support. I wouldn't be here if the administration didn't support the athletics program as a whole the way they do. So Crawford County just seemed a natural fit. So I was excited when I got the opportunity to take the job.
So tell us a little bit about what you're going to do, what changes you make in this year's team. We understand you have a lot more players, which is great. So.
Well, the first thing that we had to do was to get the numbers up. Last year, I believe they finished with under 30 players. So the first thing we wanted to do was to get the roster built, and not just on the top end. We wanted to have a lot of young kids involved with the program. So we did things like we ordered new uniforms. Kids want to play because it looks better and they have a lot more fun. Developed a JV schedule for the young kids. Those kids that come every day to practice and run the scout teams and don't really get in on Friday nights. They need something during the week, some motivation to get them through the week. So added 5 JV games for them this year. So we've really taken that philosophy. The assistant coaches, we're trying to build a program. So with the numbers coming up, and the middle school, their numbers are up. So right now we have about 50 kids on the roster, and of those 50, only 8 of them are seniors. So we have 42 returning and projected about 20 8th graders for next year. So next year we're looking at even bigger numbers, and that means ordering more equipment, which is great problems to have. So
yeah, it is. So you just had your first game against Pacelli Friday night, and it was actually a very close game. But what good things did you see from the team in that game?
Even though the game against Pacelli, we made a lot of mistakes. We made a lot of mistakes. Special teams wise, we made a lot of mistakes, but the kids never quit on us. Even though we were down by 10 points going in late in the fourth quarters, the kids never quit. They were on the sideline. They're cheering on. They're actively involved, and that attitude will get them a long way. We can fix mistakes. As coaches, we can fix those mistakes. We can fix the special teams, alignment, and assignment issues. But if they're not willing to give us the effort and to believe and stay involved, then we can't fix that. So that's the big takeaway I took away from the Pacelli game was their attitude, the drive and the want to, which is really important.
So what did you tell them after that? I mean, it was what, just a 3-point loss?
3-point loss. And we talked about it improving. And, everybody talks about trusting the process. But if you don't tell the kids what the process is, they don't know what you're talking about. So we talk about getting better every day. And, we were better Friday than we were in the fall scrimmage. And in the fall scrimmage, we were better than we were in the spring scrimmage. And we look to try to get better every single day. So as long as they're improving and continue to work hard and believe, that's the process we're trying to build. And that's how we're trying to build the program. We're trying to teach the fundamentals, the basics, so that way they have a good foundation and everything else builds upon that. So.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to come into a program that hasn't done that well or hasn't had that solid foundation. So the comments have been awesome about Friday's game, about how much improved they were over the previous years. So my hat's off to you. I think y'all are on the right track. So
Appreciate that.
What's up next?
We have Central Talbotson is coming this week. We hope to get another. We had a humongous crowd there this Friday night. We hope to get as much, if not more, support this week. And because that support's important for the players. Just like I said, the players never gave up.
Yeah.
There in the fourth quarter, the crowd was in it and were cheering us on. That's something that I don't think they've had at Crawford County for a long time.
They haven't.
So we have Central Talbotson coming up this week. Really athletic team. We got to fix some things from last week because they do some similar things. But we're working on that now to get those fixed. We're working on special teams. But we're hoping for another good game. Hopefully we come out on the plus side this time this week. Just getting ready for Central Talbotson.
What are you doing to get ready for them? Do you watch game clips? Do they still do that?
Oh, we have added so much. Now we film every single practice. We film every practice and we watch that practice film in order to correct mistakes the players are making. Because if they don't see themselves making the mistake, then it's harder for them to believe that they did it wrong. Because they swear they did it right, but the old saying.
Seeing it in black and white, that's it.
The old saying, film never lies. You can lie to my face, but the film will never lie. So we watch practice film every single day. We took the Pacelli film, and the coaches all weekend long broke it down and made corrections for the kids to watch and to see the mistakes they made against Pacelli. And so we continue to push that and try to get better at one or two things every single day by correcting those little mistakes. So.
That's great. Are they doing weight room training too? Have you added?
We've again been blessed with the administration's been really supportive. I've got most of the football players in 7th period weights, so they lift. They'll do agilities during that 7th period. We use it for some film time when we have it. But they have had an opportunity. We lift every single day. We even lift on game days. Got to get stronger. Got to get bigger, faster, stronger.
Well, I know you've got a good workout because I was thinking to myself, I don't think I can make it through this workout. When I was out there to come ask you to do our show. But those boys, every one of them had a positive attitude even when they're sitting there working out. So even though you're sitting there just trying to drain them. But I mean, you're getting them in shape. Evidently, you as a person is doing something right with these kids because I think they have a better attitude, and they see that the work is coming out, and that y'all are actually going to succeed in this football team.
Well, if you show the kids that you care about them, they're willing to work harder for you, go longer. All summer long, we did workouts all summer long, and I've got assistant coaches that felt like Uber drivers going to pick the kids up and drop them back off after workouts. We feed the kids as much as possible. We give them as many extra calories as possible. We check on their grades. We worry about the kids more than just as athletes,
right.
Because we believe in the student athlete as a whole. So we check on grades. If teachers know who I am, they can contact me anytime they have any problems. So we try to develop the person as a whole. the football program, we have two goals. And, one of them is to win as many games as possible. That's just the way
Right.
athletics is in general.
Yeah.
But the second one is that every player graduates from Crawford County. So we want kids, again, to develop them not just as an athlete, but as a student, as a person.
Right.
And we always talk about life lessons, things they can take away from football. We're switching over to the modified block schedule this week, so we'll have extra time in seventh period. So we'll be adding a character education, talking about the dangers of social media and some of the other things that athletes are faced with, and just students are faced with in general for these athletes. So.
Like bullying, does that include discussions about bullying and stuff?
Oh, we don't allow bullying. We don't.
Right.
It's we talk about family, and you wouldn't bully your family member. So because we spend so much time together, it's a family. You don't steal from family. You don't lie to family. You don't bully family. And so we talk about that all the time, just being a family.
Yeah, that's something that really needs to be instilled in our young people from all the way up these days. Seems to have lost that a little bit. That's wonderful. So, how often are y'all practicing? Football?
Oh, we practice every day.
Every day.
We practice every day, Monday through Thursday. The way we do it is we do full pads for 2 days. Wednesday is a shells practice. It's still a practice. We just don't wear our practice pants. And then Thursday is a walkthrough day, and Fridays game day. So we practice every single day, and then Saturdays is the coaches work from home, breaking down film, and then coaching staff meets on Sundays, and that's when we game plan.
So do
and
they
get
still
ready.
have pep rallies?
I'm sure they do.
Showing our age.
Yeah.
They still have pep rallies.
I want to go to a pep rally.
I'm sure we'll have one next week. Next week is homecoming.
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all got the parade.
We got the homecoming parade. I scheduled it so that way there's no JV game next week, so the football players won't be involved this year with the homecoming parade. We tried to push it up a little bit early just because we want to get homecoming out of the way before we get to the region schedule, so that way we can focus on playing with the teams like Macon County and Taylor
Yeah.
County. So that's why homecoming's so early, but we're excited about homecoming next week. But again, we're focused on this week, getting through this week, and getting better every single day. So.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what you have to do. Take 1 week at a time, one game at a time.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you have any other new assistant coaches?
Oh, I think I've got one coach from last year's staff. Everybody else is brand new. And again, it's they say that a coach is only as good as his players. A head coach is only as good as assistant coaches. So my offensive coordinator came with me from Lee County. Coach Nick Ward, he did the running backs down there. Now he's doing the quarterbacks, and he's coordinating the offense. Coach Dusty Jump, who actually went to Crawford County High School and graduated from here. He came over from Macon County. He's my defensive coordinator, coaches the defensive backs. Coach Nigel Carter, who also graduated from Crawford County. He came back down from the Atlanta area. He's helping with the defensive backs. Coach Barnett he's the only holdover from last year's staff. He's doing the defensive line. On the offensive side, Coach Greg Green also came over from Lee County. He's doing the wide receivers. And then Coach James Carter, community coach, did the middle school, has done the high school before. He's doing the offensive line. I also got a couple gentlemen, Coach Alford and Coach Hatcher, who take care of all of my equipment needs. They set my field up. They help with film anytime. And then Coach Sam Baker is volunteering to help with film. Without all this help, it couldn't get done. So.
And do they have a booster club?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Casey Calhoun is the Booster Club president this year. They've done a great job of just trying to fundraise and do as much as they can to try to get a little bit extra for the kids. They're the ones that help supply all the meals during July. Peanut butter for sandwiches, breakfast foods. They're the ones that set up the merchandise booth at the game. So if you want your Crawford County gear, see the purple tent. That's where they're at. Those ladies are at. But they set up all the pregame meals, all the postgame meals for me. They take care of all that, the extra outside of football stuff that and it really takes a lot off my shoulders.
Yeah. It's just been my experience from different communities that if the community support is there, the team is going to be successful. I mean, it just makes a world of difference. So.
Yes, ma'am. We're you know, like I said, Friday night, it was really great to see everybody out there, you know, just to see that. And, you know, we try to put on a show. We got the motorcycles and the smoke for the run out. You know, we try to put on a show. We try to give people something to come and watch. But, you know, without the community support, change doesn't happen, because then the kids don't want to be there because, you know, the parents aren't supporting, or the, you know, the community's not supporting. You know, if you didn't have all that support like we're getting right now, it'd be hard to maintain so many kids on the roster. But it was great. You know, the kids had the fans yelling behind them, and it was all good things they were yelling. And they were in it to the fourth quarter. I don't think anyone left early for the Pacelli game. So.
Yeah, I know you have to assess each game as it comes, but who do you think is going to be the toughest on the remaining schedule?
The toughest on the remaining schedule, I would have to go into the region schedule. You know, you got Dooley County, who's got that outstanding quarterback, and if we don't, you know, control him, it's going to be really hard to play that game. And Schley is always tough. They're big, strong, physical up front. You know, all the region games you can't really take off. You can't. For us, we can't take off any game. We got to prepare every game like it's a playoff game, because, you know, it's you know, you want to see success. You want the kids to be successful, so you got to push them to prepare for each game. You can't look past any opponent.
Mm-hmm. So, have a new attitude. We got new uniforms, but didn't you also bring a new scoreboard from Perry here?
Yes, ma'am. And they are working on getting that up this week. You know, it's you know, Perry did their whole remodel of their stadium, so they got brand new scoreboards. So we were able to get their old scoreboard at a reduced cost, and you know, all the labor has been, you know, donated. We had Mr. Cooley help to go out and pick up the scoreboard and bring it back with his own personal flatbed. We put it there. I spent all summer long scraping the old Panther off of it. Yeah, and that took all summer long because that Panther was ugly and humongous. So we scraped it. I scraped it down all summer long. You know, the construction classes helped to sand it down and paint it. Mr. Shepard right now is doing the vinyl stickering to go back on it.
So we're going to have an eagle?
We're going to have our CC logo
okay.
in the middle. That is the plan. The scoreboard's going to be purple, and it's going to have a CC logo. Gone are the light bulbs, and it's an LED scoreboard. So you should actually be able to see the actual time left on and what the actual score is, you know, without kind of guessing what's left. But, you know, we're really excited to see that go up this week. So hopefully it's up by Friday. You know, hopefully it's up by Friday, barring any unforeseen circumstances.
Well, we hope that you're able to do that too. So what are you seeing? Any standouts that have surprised you this year for the team?
Well, you know, coming in, we knew about who the players were.
Mm-hmm.
The real big thing that we see is the buy-in from all of the players. You know, after the loss to Pacelli, you know, we talked about there's one or two things that they could do. They could either roll over and take it as a loss and say this is just how Crawford County football is, or you know, they could work harder to get it turned around. And you know, Sunday we had 6 or 7 kids come in on their own time just to work on blocking, or you know, Caleb Gregory came in to kick, even though, you know, he was 4 or 5 on extra points, which means he's already kicked more extra points than they did all of last year. But you know, he came in to work on the kickoff because special teams was an issue on Friday. So he came in to work just on kickoffs. And, you know, just that support, that buy-in from just all the players as a whole has just been really impressive to me.
Yeah, attitude is 90% of it.
Absolutely, you know.
Oh, that's great. So, what do you? What would ideally your outcome would be to win all the other games, but what would be an acceptable outcome for the rest of this year?
For the rest of this year, we're looking at, I would like to win the games that we're supposed to win. The Central Talbotsons, one of the crossover games, Glasscock, and then we want to be competitive in all the other games. I want to be in it to win it with Hawkinsville. I want, last year Macon County was a blowout. They had several blowouts last year. I want to be competitive, right, for this year. To say we're going to win it all, every coach wants to say they're going to win it all, win a state championship, make the playoffs. But realistic goals, we're looking for that first year just to change the culture and the mindset and be competitive. We don't want to be everybody's homecoming game anymore. We want people to have to worry about game planning for Crawford County. And to do that, you've got to be not just competitive, but you got to put things out there that they have to worry about. And we threw for 200+ yards this last game. Everything that was wrong we can fix. So people are going to have to look at that and actually worry about stopping our passing game. And when they do that, Patton will have a big game running the ball. So we just want to see that improvement and that competitiveness throughout the rest of the season. So.
Well, it sounds like you got a good start, especially on that mindset. So.
Well, I will have to say that I was totally impressed when I saw that score come up on the news. I was like, yes, we're coming back.
If we would have flipped, I'd have felt better.
Yes,
but,
yes. But everything's improving.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was a close game.
Yeah, it was a close game. Everything's improving as far as the mindset of the kids, the play of the game. They still have to get that experience and not be so nervous when it comes to being out there to play, to make their mistakes. But the more you practice, the more it gets.
I was. Friday night I was disappointed. I can't, as a coach,
normal. Yeah.
I was disappointed. I'm sure the kids were disappointed, but you go back and you watch it, and we did a lot of things well.
Right.
And everything that we didn't do well, we can fix, and it's definitely fixable. We're still fighting old habits. Some of these kids have been doing it a certain way for 2 or 3 years, and now we want them to do it our way. So those are the things we're having to fix, and again, first game out the box, it will get better.
But when
we'll continue to working on it.
When it's neck and neck like that, I mean, that's an improvement.
Especially when you look at the last few seasons.
Yeah.
It really was impressive, and I mean, you're building the program from the ground up. I mean, basically, so.
We're trying to develop the young. Because you want those guys to grow up. We've set a standard with the program, and the seniors and the juniors that have been in the other programs before, they're striving to meet that standard. But it's really the freshman and the sophomore that is the only standard that they will ever know.
Right.
So there is no other way of doing things. They're going to do it our way because that's the only way. They know how to do it, and that continues on with the 8th graders. I'm lucky enough to be able to teach 2 middle school weight training classes. So they're learning to lift the way we lift right now, getting, just the basic fundamentals of how to do a proper lift. So that way when they get to 9th grade, we can really focus on getting stronger, which is fantastic also.
Well, that's how you build a program,
From the foundation, from
that's
the bottom.
Right. That's right. So that's really great. So, do you teach anything else other than weight?
I do weight training both at the middle and high school. I do 2 classes at the middle school in the mornings, and then I come over and do 3 classes at the high school. So.
Wow, so you got a busy day.
It felt like that first week because there's so many other things you got to get ready for. But as it levels out, I think I'll be okay.
Well, anything else you want to add about the program, the upcoming games, the team, the school?
Just we really appreciate, and the kids really appreciate all the support. From the community, from the administration, from the school. We pre-sold tickets for this last game, and we sold 155 tickets in 3 days to the students at the high school. So that support is really important. The kids have put in the work all summer long. You know, they've worked, they've gotten better, and we want people there to see it, because without that support, it's really hard to continue to work that hard and not be appreciated for your efforts. So again, the community support Friday night was fantastic, and it's essential that we can continue to have that because the kids have worked hard. You know, win or lose, we want you there to support not just us as a football team, but all of the athletics programs. You know, we want to build the entire program. We want, you know, Crawford County as a whole to be better, both, you know, in the classroom and on the sports field. So, but the community support in that is essential. So.
And you ended up with how many players?
We are at 50 on the roster right now.
Okay, well, that's good. So we look forward to a successful season and a lot more. And we appreciate the community support too, and I hope it continues. And that's great when you can rally the community. So
I appreciate it.
So we appreciate you being here. Is there anything else you want to add?
Just see you Friday night.
And at what time?
Kickoff is at 7:30. The motorcycles roll at 7:29.
Okay,
So.
and tickets are?
Tickets are $7 at the gate, but we'll start pre-selling them, I think, Wednesday for $5.
Okay.
So.
And again, homecoming is?
Next Friday.
Next Friday, which is the?
And the homecoming
7th?
parade, yeah, and homecoming parade is September 6th, downtown Roberta.
All right, so mark those on your calendars. Be there, show up at a game. And Coach Smith, we are so excited that you're here, and we thank you for being our guest today. And we look forward to maybe seeing you again after the season, so we can talk
Most
about all the
definitely.
success.
Most definitely. I appreciate you having me on. Anytime I can come out and talk about the program, you know, it's a bonus. Because again, the kids have worked so hard, the coaches have worked so hard. You know, we got to sell this program. We really got to build it. And, you know,
I
we're
don't
excited
think you're
about
having a
things.
sale right now. You're doing pretty good.
You're on the right track. Well, thank you again for being here. That wraps up this week's edition of the Georgia Post Review. Our guest has been Coach Smith of the Crawford County Eagles. Go Eagles! So,
Go Eagles.
mark your calendars and start going out to a game, and let's keep this excitement going for our hometown team. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.